All right, let's go ahead and do this. We should be live. We should be live. We should be ready to go. I want to talk about so much that's happened over the new year, give you my thoughts and opinions on all that great stuff. And we're just going to go from there. Hopefully, everything is good with you and yours. Hopefully, everything is going well for you and your family. Take this earpiece out. So, I'm going to be sitting here just talking about 2024, all the things that happened. I'm going to go over a few of my topics on my videos that I've made and just skim through some of that stuff. I don't want to waste too much time. I want to be here for about an hour or so because I got to go get my hair cut eventually. So I got an appointment for that today. So I want to get that out of the way. One thing I do want to do, let me see if I can do this. It won't do it. Let me see. There it is. I'm going to change the display settings. So I'm going to put it on here. And I don't know if y'all can hear my son in the background. My son is a mess. All right, let's see. Hopefully this don't jack anything up. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Keep the changes. I should have done this a little bit earlier, but that's fine. It's no big deal. Let's see. So we're testing everything out, making sure everything works, and then we're going to get right into it. Let's see. All right, this should be it right here. All right, great. That's awesome. So I'm gonna put this over here. There we go. Absolutely excellent. That's cool. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I think I'm gonna just flip this back. Yeah, just flip it back. Display orientation. All right, so I'm doing a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's see. All right, cool. All right. So we're good to go. We're good to go. I'm gonna drop that. Right. That's all I need that up there. So yeah, so we're gonna just talk about some things that happened throughout the year when it comes to gaming, my channel, what's going forward for 2025, and everything under that umbrella. So for the most part, let's go ahead and this first of all, before I do anything, let me make sure that my audio and everything is good. Make sure everybody can hear me. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Audio's good. What's going on, Sweet Jones? I see you put that in the chat earlier before I went live. I appreciate that. What's going on? What's going on with you? And yeah, we're gonna look into 2024 going into 2025. Because for me, this year's been a really good year. For the most part, everything went smooth. Was able to get some I was able to get some things going with the channel, picked up a little bit of steam, and it was actually pretty dope that the channel took off the way it did. I mean, we were at a point where we was around 200-300 subs, and we jumped up to we doubled that in a year. Now, for me, I would have loved to get to 1,000, but hey, everything don't happen the way you want it to happen, and that's fine. It's no big deal, and it's all good. With that being said, Doc Tyke said good morning. I'm gonna be reading everybody's stuff in the chat. Is if I can get to all of it. Good morning, hiding from the in-laws, doing my desk setup. Santa bought me Xbox Series. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I got one right here. I don't know if you see it, but my Xbox Series X is right here. I bought one. I did a video about that, which I'll probably talk about later on in the video. Why I got one and all this other good stuff. That was a part of 2024 because I slept on the Xbox Series X for a long time. I slept on it for a very long time, and I'm glad that I got it now because it is actually a pretty solid console. I think a lot of people give the Xbox Series X a bad rap because of the fact that it is not on the top standard of the PS5, and I think the PS5 is pretty good. The PS5 is actually an awesome console, but I think a lot of people do get it kind of mixed up about the Xbox Series. I mean, all the things it can do, the backwards compatibility, the Game Pass, actually still being able to play your disc at the same time. It's a very well-rounded console, but I do think the PS5 is slightly better than it. But I think for me, like I said about the Xbox Series, it reminds me of the original Xbox. So it's one of the reasons why I do love playing it. For some reason, it gives me that original Xbox vibes where it's a powerful console. It does a little bit of everything, and it is very accessible to a lot of things you want to do. And I love it I love that. I love that. Doc Type also says it replaced my One X. It looks next to the PS5. Yeah, my One X died. I don't know if that was a part of 2024, but I know a part of 2023. I made a video about my Xbox One X dying. It works, but the HDMI port is jacked up. So the Xbox Series, the Xbox One X was working fine, and all of a sudden it would show only in 480p. So with that being said, when it did that, I was like, what am I going to do? I sent it off to get it replaced. Well, somebody local to get it replaced, and they was like, yeah, that's an issue that the Xbox One has had for a lot of situations. And I had the Xbox Series S at one point, and I didn't like the S because I don't like digital consoles. So I ended up buying the X, and I'm glad I did. Doc also says I'm leading towards the Xbox. I just transfer all my games with no hit. That's one thing about the Xbox Series, the Xbox ecosystem in general. Whatever you want to move over to from one console to the next, you have no problems. Your game saves. You don't have to worry about none of that. All that stuff moves very well. That's one thing I do like about Xbox is that the fact that everything transitions very well. The games do play pretty well. Maybe the performance is not up to par with some games like on the PlayStation 5, but it's still a very good console. I really like it. What's going on, Antonio? How you doing? I'm trying to pull up. Let me see if I can pull this up. My videos from this year, starting back from January. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but we're gonna go through January. We're not gonna go through the videos, but we're gonna go through the topics of the videos, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions on the said topics that I had at the time. It's kind of like a review of 2024, where we talk about what was going on throughout this entire console, not console, but this year. And I'm only in May. Goodness, let's go. All right. But other than that, everything is pretty cool. Antonio, I'm glad to see you doing good, bro. I'm like you've been like one of the day ones around here, man. Like you've been like a day one, bro, and I appreciate you, bro. Like you was around when, I mean, even when I was doing the old channel, I mean, on the other channel, when I'm doing the podcast over there, you've been around that long. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm already in November. Okay, so right here. All right, so I'm gonna share the screen. Oh, should I do it that way? Let me flip it the other way. Can I do it the other way? Views, copyright, visibility, age restriction, title, views. I thought I could do it. Oh, it's right here. I'm tripping. So I'm going to have to do it the other way backwards because I want to do it from top down. All right, let's see. Got to go all the way back to early 2024. Y'all give me a second, y'all. I'm just trying to get my 2024 videos in order so you guys we can recap all of that, talk about everything about gaming under the umbrella and all the other good stuff. But like not just you, Antonio, man. I really appreciate it, man. You really been a day one. And everybody else who's been coming through, man, that's been watching the videos, giving me, all the feedback that they can as far as what they feel about, whatever topic I talk about. It helps a lot. It motivates me to keep going. A lot of people want to do this for views and stuff, and I get it, but some people just want the views. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I want the interaction. Because for me, I feel like if I'm interacting with you guys and you guys are getting something out of this and I can get something out of it in return, it really feels like it's it's a camaraderie. It's somewhat of a small community. Regardless of, some people, feel like they got to get all these subs and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I want a lot of subs because I want to reach a lot of people. But I feel like at the end of the day, I want to actually talk to people. I don't want to talk at people. And that's what happens with YouTube in general. A lot of people get so big they can't reach everybody. But my thing is, I'm going to continue to do this as if I'm talking to a small audience, and because I want to talk to people like they're, just like me, a guy who wants to game and wants to talk and have fun and possibly, collect games or just play games and have a good time. So where is it? I want to share. There we go. Share the screen. Yeah, I'll make sure no audio. Yeah, channel. There we go. So we're gonna look at back a little bit in the back a little bit. This is my channel, and this is the little bit of the studio where I can go back and look at my videos. And the first video I did was right here, January 20. Can y'all see that? Y'all let me know if y'all can see that. Is that too small? If it is, I'll try to I'll make it a little bit wider for you guys if that's too small. Y'all let me know. But first video I did in 2024 was me. I completely whiffed on a Nintendo Switch. I didn't realize that the Nintendo Switch was, actually, I ain't gonna say it wasn't actually a good console. I thought it was pretty solid. But once I bought my son his Nintendo Switch, and I already had like, I always like, had a Nintendo Switch because see, I got the light. It got fingerprints all over it. I had the light, and my son had the regular one. He had this one, and I was sitting here just like, okay, he has a Switch, it's a handheld. I'm not big on handhelds or whatever. So I was like, whatever. So when I realized that I bought some more games for the Switch because I was like, okay, my son wants some games. And then I started playing them and I was like, wait a minute, these games are actually pretty good. And then the fact that we were playing them on the TV, I had like an epiphany. I was like, yo, the Nintendo Switch is actually pretty cool. So I was having fun with that, and it was pretty dope that the Nintendo Switch turned out to be one of the awesome consoles, of 2024 for me, even though the console came out in 2017. And for Christmas, hold on, y'all, 1 second. All right, so for Christmas, I ended up buying my son the OLED version of the Switch. So he has the OLED one, and I'm stuck with the regular one, which is fine. I mean, I don't care about the OLED and stuff. And we still have, hopefully, did that mess up? Y'all can still hear me? Pretty sure y'all can still hear me. And that, I still got the yellow one as well. So we got 3 Switches in the house. Usually I will probably get my wife. My wife will probably play one of them. I'll play one he plays. And it's just a fantastic time. So shout out to Nintendo. It took me 6 years, but I figured out that the Nintendo Switch is pretty cool. All right, piracy debate. We had that. Removing purchases. Yeah, because some companies was removing purchases from game sites. Should you pirate games because, or is it piracy if they remove the purchasing of games? What was the biggest generational leap? In this video, I talked about this, and a lot of people was like, they felt like the jump from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 was the biggest leap. If I'm not mistaken, I thought that from the PlayStation 1 to Dreamcast was. But hey, I think that's what it was. This was my game room setup that I did. I'm going to do another one in 2025. Actually, the one for the new one I'm going to do is not going to be for this room because we're going to be moving to a new house, and it's going to be a totally different setup once we get in the new house. So what you saw in this video, this game room setup for 2024, is going to be different for 2025, and that might not happen until a few months after 2025 starts. So be on the lookout for that. Microsoft becoming third party. We already know that was a big deal back in 2024. Everybody talking about Microsoft going third party, putting their games on PlayStation and possibly Nintendo. They already been putting games on PC. So you kind of know where that goes already. Y'all like tell me I was out of the loop. Nevertheless, EA Sports College Football was another game that I talked about. Hold on, I'm gonna look at this right. Doc Type said, "This is what I like about the channel. One of your videos popped up on my recommended list. I'm an old gamer, just like this discussion is awesome, and I appreciate it." Yeah, man. I mean, I've been gaming since, good Lord. The first time I picked up a controller was 1986, 87. And I'm an old dude, man. And like I was like 5 years old when I first picked up a controller, and I never looked back. So that's kind of like how my son is. My son's been playing video games since he was like 4. So he's the same way like me. And I don't see myself ever stopping. Started picking up games when I was 5. I started collecting. I was indirectly collecting as I was getting older. throughout the 90s, kept my Super Nintendo, kept my PlayStation. No, I didn't keep my PlayStation 1. My mom kept the PlayStation 1 and the N64. I went to go buy a Dreamcast, went back to get my N64 and Super Nintendo because she didn't want it anymore. And I was like low-key collecting ever since then. And it really took off once the original Xbox came out. When the original Xbox came out, because I wanted another Dreamcast so bad, because I wanted the Dreamcast to beat the PlayStation 2. That was my original favorite console. But when the Xbox came out, I figured that was the Dreamcast too, and I just started collecting for the original Xbox. And ever since then, I've been collecting for all this stuff. So it's kind of crazy. EA Sports College Football, that came out. We made a discussion about that on a live stream a while back. This right here is something I need to know if that's going to be a thing. Is X-Men coming to the Sega Saturn? The X-Men arcade game, is that coming to the Sega Saturn? That needs to be a thing. That really needs to be a thing because I really want this to come out. This needs to come out. This X-Men coming to the Saturn. Because I love the X-Men arcade game. I have it on PS3, and I don't see why it can't run on the Saturn. I mean, it looked like a game that was built for the Saturn. Games could go $100. Yes, we already know that. Game quality and Sensoriola. I talked about that when I was talking about all of these HDMI adapters, which I just bought another one. I did that on my last video. This right here is the Sega Dreamcast HDMI adapter. I bought this. This is X. I'm going to do a video on this down the road. I want to see how well that works compared to the other one I have. Microsoft layoffs, Tekken 8. I thought Tekken 8 Tekken 8 had a lot of ups and downs, but it turned out to be a really good game. Very good game. Nintendo Wii U and 3DS online services ended at April 8th. Yes, I ended up buying a bunch of games for the Nintendo Wii U. I think I did a video on my last purchases. I'm not sure, but if I did, I need to go back and look at that. A bunch of people tried to revive the Wii Shop. I don't know why they're trying to get sued by Nintendo. Enough said there. Do not mess with Nintendo. Spec Ops: The Line delisted. That game has been delisted. This is an excellent game. If you have a PS3 or 360, buy this game. Get a physical copy. This is an excellent. Hold on one second. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. This is an excellent game. Spec Ops: The Line. Buy this game. You will not be disappointed. It's been delisted. You cannot, purchase it online anymore, but it does work. It is backwards. I think it is backwards compatible with your Xbox Series. Buy this. This is an excellent game. It's been delisted. I talked about that. Retro Fighters wireless Xbox controller unboxing. That's the box back there behind my Xbox. This is the controller. If you have an original Xbox, this is an excellent controller to have. Highly recommend that as well. Xbox going third party. We talked about that already. Let's go to the next page. I talked about Xbox is going to be fine, even if the rumors are true. Yeah, Xbox is going to be fine. They made a lot of money going third party. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way they do it. Excuse me. Looking at Gran Turismo Sport, they don't have the Gran Turismo Sport is an excellent racing game. The online services is gone, but they you can play this game offline very well. Really, really good. Really, really well. Digital rights and ownership, you already know how that goes. Shout out to the Does It Play community. I did this video on February 10th. This video was basically talking about games that can be played without, I ain't gonna say patches or whatever, but if the entire game is on the disc. Does It Play community, go to doesitplay.org. Those guys do a great job. Now, Xbox with more of their announcements. I say Xbox is cooked. Then they come out with another announcement. Then Sony, I can't remember what this was about, but I'm gonna skip that. But I think that let me see, where is it? Oh, they said this is the video I did when Sony's not releasing titles until 2025. It's been a fairly dry year for Sony, even though Stellar Blade, I think that came out this year. I could be wrong. Stellar Blade was really good. We had a couple other titles that turned out to be pretty good, but it was pretty dry overall. Xbox podcast reaction, some exclusive going to other platforms. We talked about that. More EA Sports College Football. EA Sports Bio. I talked about that. That's a really cool video. Go back and check that out. Talk about EA Sports Bio when back in 2004, all their games were connected. And if you played like Fight Night 2004 and turn around and play Madden 2004, you had certain perks that was into one game and it was integrated to another one. Now this right here, the Xbox, this is my Xbox One doc type. This is what I was telling you about. My Xbox One was like cooked and it tried to work, but the problem was it only worked in 1080p at that point. And then after a while, it just died altogether. It just died. So yeah, my Xbox One died. I ended up getting the Xbox Series, which I said it's over here. So yeah, I got that. What's next? Gaming industry need a financial correction. We talked about that. So many games not making money because the budgets are so big. Nintendo Direct recap 2024. That was pretty cool. Where are the 3D fighting games? I made that video because only Tekken 8 was out. There was no Virtua Fighter, which new Virtua Fighter is coming out now, but there was no Virtua Fighter. There's no Dead or Alive 7. There's no Soul Calibur 7. No Bloody Roar. It's like all the 3D fighters are gone except for Tekken. Fortunately, you got VF, Virtua Fighters coming out. This is another one, Classic Game Room. He stopped doing this, but Classic Game Room came out with a very good format where he was just putting all of his videos back to back live, and it was on a live stream loop. I guess he stopped that because it probably killed all his bandwidth of going live for 5-7 days in a row. But it was a pretty cool concept. This one was an Xbox 360 store. We went through that before it closed. I think later on I did do another video where I bought everything that I wanted. I've heard taps on my Xbox. Yeah, man, the Xbox One was excellent, man. I didn't realize how good that console was until I started really playing it, because I was still on the PlayStation 4 at the time. And then when I started playing Xbox One X, I was like, wait a minute, this console actually feels like a more sturdier and more put together console than the PS4, because the PS4 felt like kind of like even the PS4 Pro felt like it was a laggy machine. You couldn't get through the interface that well. Some games was pretty cool. It sucks if you put some games in boost mode. It was kind of wacky, but the Xbox One X actually was a pretty solid console. Unfortunately, it just died. But yeah, I went through the Xbox 360 store. I went through some of those games. I ended up buying some games. Nintendo ended up suing Yuzu creators. They should have known that was coming. Leave Nintendo alone. You emulate any of their stuff, they're going to come after you. PS3 updates. Okay. Industry layoffs. Okay. Why I love Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Another reason why I fell in love with the Switch. Me and my son played the Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and he beat the game before I did. But I didn't realize how awesome that game was. One of the best 2D platforms out there. I love Mario Brothers Wonder. If you don't have a Switch, I highly recommend you get it. Be honest, probably get it just for that game. I mean, there's a lot of other games out there, but just for that game, you won't be disappointed. I do think the game's a little short, though. It's a little short. This is a video I did about getting scammed on Steam. I can't remember doing that. I can't remember. This video, she didn't have to do this. Go back and look at the lady who did the blindfold gameplay, but she lied about it. I thought that was pretty funny. Yuzu and Switch got shut down. Leave Nintendo alone. And Citra 3DS, their emulator got shut down as well. Leave Nintendo alone. MLB 24. MLB The Show 24. This is a game that I don't play much of. I haven't played much of baseball games in a long time. I think the last one I really played was like MLB 16 or something like that. I think they're incredible baseball games. I think they're awesome. What they did with this was they started putting females in the game, but they had the females playing with the men, which whatever floats your boat, that's fine. But I think the idea, they could have went back and had the female leagues from back in the day. They could have put that in the game. Now, I thought that would have been awesome. But for some reason, you look over here, I only got 8 likes and 4 dislikes. I want to know who the 4 people who dislike that. I thought that was kind of weird. Top Spin 2K25, that game was coming soon. It is out now. For me, I'm not going to say I don't recommend it, but that game is kind of tied to online. So tread at your own risk if you want Top Spin 2K25. If it's me personally, I would stick with Grand Slam Tennis and Top Spin 4 on the PS3 and 360 respectively. This is a video I did. I talked about I was stuck in the 6th and 7th generation consoles. Yeah, I mean, how could you not? And to be honest, I love the new consoles or whatever, but I really believe that the PS3, PS2 era, Xbox 360, original Xbox era, those are the awesome times in my opinion. But, you know, it's not for everybody, but I love it. I love it. PlayStation owners losing games from their library. Yes, be careful of that. I did a video on that back in March, and this could be an issue. You know, yeah, that could be an issue. To this day. Let's see, Stellar Blade. Okay, talked about that. Well, Activists talked about that. Top Spin just talked about that. PS5 Pro specs were leaked. Are you interested? Turned out to be a flop in my opinion. Garrow, Mark of the Wolves, Fate of Fury, Mark of the Wolves 2. Okay, that was a thing. Gaming generation was okay. PlayStation 3D TV. That is an excellent device. I did a whole video about that. I highly recommend. If you find one of these in a while, get a PlayStation 3D TV. The display quality on that is very good. The image quality is excellent. Offline gaming worst nightmare. Apex Legends. People are getting hacked. Their IP address was getting hacked. People was getting all of that. Made a video about Black Bomb making a point about Nintendo. Let's keep rolling. I don't want to go through every video. Anything that pops up that this one that I thought that was pretty interesting. Younger generation are playing more retro games. I thought that was very interesting. Rockstar will report you to the feds. Yes, they will. You better be careful. Kenneth Mullen said, I've been having more fun with the PS3 and the Vita. Absolutely. Like, look, I just made a video about some pickups where I bought more PS2 and PS3 games. And, you know, I mean, most of my pickups that's been going that route anyway. Absolutely. The thing about the PS3 and the Xbox 360 era, and even you go back to the 6th and 7th of the 6th generation as well, when you got those games, for the most part, the PS3, Xbox 360 games needed some form of a patch. I get it. Some of them needed patches, but they weren't like game-breaking patches like you have now. Some of those patches are absolutely ridiculous. Some of them are not even patches. Some are actually parts of the game. So when you put in a PS3 game, you may have like maybe 800 megabyte, 500 megabyte patch, which your hard drive can sustain that. And if you put your entire library, the average library on a PS3, it could fit on there. Which I may need to do that one because I put a 1 terabyte hard drive in my PS3 and I got pretty much everything I want on it with room to spare. And I'm planning on, because I know they're going to do this, they're going to shut down the PS3 store. They already did the 360. The PS3 store is about to shut down at some point. I got enough room on my hard drive so I can buy more games digitally if that store goes away. But I think I got most of the games I want already, but still, I'm definitely going to be doing that. I just hate seeing games being delisted and you can't get them anymore, you know. Castle of Illusion is a game that I need to pick up on the PS3. I bought it on my PC for my son, and that game damn near crashed my PC. I don't know why, but it almost crashed. So I was like, yeah, let me get this on the PS3 so he could play that over there, and I don't have to worry about that. You know, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, Rockstar will report you to the feds. That was a thing. If you go crazy online, be careful. They will report you. Did a video about that. Xbox 360 games are still going up. Be mindful. I just talked about this game right here, Spec Ops: The Line. I don't know if this price of this game is going up yet, but a lot of 360 games have been going up. What was that game? That Need for Speed Most Wanted is one of them. Fatal Inertia is another one that went up. Spec Ops: The Line might be another. There's a few other ones as well, so be mindful of that. Wii U and 3DS still online. I haven't heard much about that. Nobody got a refund for the Q Crew 9 years later. I thought somebody did. That was a Reddit post. Turned out to be fake. Let's see. This is the video I did about the Sega Dreamcast component cable. I thought that component cable is actually pretty solid if you're into that. But like I said, my last pickup video, I did buy the new HDMI adapter that goes through VGA and RGB. I will be doing a video comparing this component cable with sometime in the next few weeks. Be on the lookout for that. And this is the review of it. This is the review of it. A lot of people tend to like this review. The only problem I have with this is that the games, they look good, but it has like this green lines that's going through the screen with the component cable. So it doesn't hinder the gameplay too much, but it's there. But like I said, I'm gonna be doing a comparison video with this upcoming Kaiko one that I got, and also going to do a comparison video. Kevin Mullen says, do I think the PS5 Pro is worth the money? No. Knowing what I know now, absolutely not. The best way, if you want to get a PS5 Pro, take your PS5 that you got now or Xbox Series or whatever console you got. It has to be one of the new consoles. Don't do it old console. Get one of the Xbox Series X or your PS5. Go trade it in, because I think the trade value for that is like $350. It's like $300 or $350, depends on if you're a Pro member or not. Take that and use that credit to get a PS5 Pro. Then it'll be worth it. But paying $700 straight up, paying $780, excuse me, paying $780 and getting a disk drive that's an attachment, which I don't even want to get into the disk drive attachment part right now because I think that's a scam. But doing all that, then it'll be worth it because you'll be paying around about $400 for it. Yeah, it'll be worth it at that point. But no, don't pay $700. In my opinion, I would not pay $700 for that console. Because I mean, it's not the upgrade that people thought it to be. It's just not there. Then you got to pay for a disk drive, which I'll just say this. What if that disk drive does not work anymore? What are you going to do? You know, those disk drives need updates. You got to put a patch into those disk drives so they can continue to work for your console. I think that is a serious problem, because at some point they can say, you know what, we don't want to provide any more service for these disk drives. You got to buy everything digital. So you just bought a paperweight. Yeah, I think it's a really bad idea to have detachable hard drives, because especially when I found out that those have to be updated. That's crazy. Next video, Retro Games, where is that? I agree. Does It Play? Shout out to doesitplay.org. Back in April 2000, they reached 2,000 games that they covered. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Little Big Planet 3 server shut down. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. No problem, man. Anytime, man. Whatever I can do to help, man. That's what I'm here for. You know, unfortunately, I'm not able to do this as much, but that's going to change in 2025. I promise you. Little Big Planet 3, their server shut down. This is what I'm talking about right here. Now you can't play the full-fledged part of Little Big Planet 3. It's really unfortunate. Another video I did after that was why Gran Turismo 6 was not released on the PS4. This is an excellent video. This is probably one of my favorite videos I did, because it explains why Gran Turismo 6 has all that content. And if they would have put it on PS4, which I think it should have been a PS4 game, it would have undermined Gran Turismo Sport. Because Gran Turismo 6 has like almost over 1,500 cars in it. It has all these tracks, and Gran Turismo Sport couldn't outdo that. It would have been very hard for them to outdo that. A lot of people have been like, well, why am I going to play Gran Turismo Sport when I can just play Gran Turismo 6? So that's the reason why Gran Turismo 6 was never moved over, which it should have been a PS4 game. The game came out after the PS4 was released. It's crazy. NFL 2K Playmakers, that's a game that came out. Anybody who's still looking for NFL 2K to come out, they can forget it. NFL 2K, the dream is over, man. I really want NFL 2K to come back. I doubt it. But yeah. Escape from Tarkov, one of the great games from the last couple of years. The developers were pretty much scamming their customers. It's pretty crazy because you had good faith with a great game, and they end up, trying to mess over people with their pay mechanics. Really unfortunate. Mature games going by the wayside. Akuma came out for Street Fighter 6. Limited run games. They did a scam when they did a CDR for the game D. That came out for the 3DO. They gave people CDRs instead of real printed disc, which was ridiculous. Helldivers 2 was this was a part of a time. This was a part of a time where a lot of companies were getting called out for doing some BS. First, like I said, it was the Escape from Tarkov thing. Then the limited run with the CDR scam. Then you had Helldivers 2 making people get a PSN account for their PC or they can't play the game. That was like a good run where it was pretty bad. Tekken Cross Street Fighter on PS3 is fire. Absolutely. That last update, that 2012 update they did, awesome. You get all the players, you get all the, all the other characters. Excellent game. Absolutely. I got Street Fighter Cross Tekken on PlayStation 3. I actually have it on my PC, and I got it to patch for it to work. And it's cool, but I love playing on the PS3. It's awesome. You got Cole from Cole from Infamous is in the game. So that makes it awesome. You got Kuro and the other PlayStation mascot in the game. It's way, to me, I think it's way better than the 360 version because you have those other characters. And let's be honest, PlayStation 3 was an excellent console fighting games. I do think that there's some fighting games on the Xbox 360 play a little bit better. Like, what's that game? Lord, what is that game? Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, the online edition. I do think that plays a little bit better on the 360, but the PS3 in general, man. And the thing about that as well, it was backwards compatible with the PS1. So all your PS1 fighting games could play on the PS3. You go to the PlayStation Store, they have a bunch of games, a bunch of fighting games on there that you can download. Then you turn around and buy the physical copies of some of these games, like the Mortal Kombat Complete Collection. You had Kratos in that game. It was just, it's an Ultra Street Fighter 4. That was great. There's a couple of King of Fighters 13, and not to mention the PS2 classics as well that have fighting. And you can look on the PlayStation 3, you can play Capcom versus SNK 2. You can still play Marvel versus Capcom 2 if you still bought that on the store. It's so many, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. So many games that you can play on the PS3. Absolutely excellent console to play fighting games on. Absolutely. Just like Doc said, agreed. I absolutely agree. All right, let's keep it moving. Where we at? Microsoft closed for studios. Microsoft left OG Xbox supporters a long time ago. Look, I mean, I'm an OG Xbox guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a really big fan of the 360 like that. And the Xbox One was pretty solid. I love the Xbox Series because the Xbox Series remind me of my original Xbox. So yeah, absolutely. They left us a long time ago. And then more Xbox issues. Your data is valuable. I made this video based on Helldivers. They want your information. They don't care about the sales of other countries. They want your data. PlayStation gonna have co-CEOs. Grid 2019. I don't know how big y'all are on racing games, but Grid 2019 was delisted a long time ago. It was delisted months ago, and I didn't even know. Grid 2019 is an excellent racing game. I highly recommend you get. It's another delisted game, which I need to confess I have not bought the physical copy of. I am sleeping on that. I need to get that because that's a game that was only alive for 4 or 5 years. That's unheard of. Most games will live a little bit longer than that, especially when they're not live services. EA Sports 2025, we talked about that. Votar, shout out to Votar, man. If you don't know who Voltar is, Voltar is an excellent excellent guy in the retro gaming community. He solders a lot of and mods a lot of consoles for people. I guess somebody went into his lab that he mods consoles and stuff and tore up his room. So I talked about that. I think he's back up and running, but somebody ransacked this entire lab. That pretty sucks. A lot of old school games and stuff that's in there. It's kind of crazy. I miss gaming when gaming was just for us nerds. Nowadays it's too mainstream. I picked up a new capture card, this Cloner Alliance Flint, which is absolutely good. But I did end up getting another one, and I'll talk about why I got the new Elgato. I'll talk about that before the live is over. Let's see. Steam account is not transferable. That I understand that. Engine, I don't want to go through that. The engine owning lawsuit. I bought another original Xbox. Shout out to Simhead Academy. He bought a original Xbox as well from the same place I went to. My wife has a question for you. She said, what do you think Mario Kart 9 will be a Switch 2 launch title? I will say it should be. The problem is Mario Kart 8 is so successful. Mario Kart 8 is so successful. I haven't heard anything about them making a Mario Kart 9, but it should be. I think they still have more to expand on outside of Mario Kart 8. But I think it should be a launch title. If they want to continue the success that they had with the Switch, make that a launch title, and trust me, the Switch 2 will sell like crazy. And to be honest, I think Mario Kart 9 should be exclusive to the Switch 2. Now, a lot of people will say, well, you already got a lot of Switches out there. You don't want to alienate those people, and the Switch 2 should be backwards compatible. Yeah, I get that. But we're talking about Nintendo here. People are going to buy the Switch 2 if Mario Kart 9 is on that console. Now, what I think may happen is they may make it backwards compatible, or may make a Mario Kart 9 for the original Switch. They may do that. I can see that happening, but I don't think they should. Yeah, I love Mario Kart 8. My thing was I played a lot of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. My son played a lot of Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. I started playing on the Switch because they had those extra tracks that they had. They had like 40 or 50 more tracks on the Switch. And I was like, oh no, I gotta play those. So like I said, Mario Kart 8 has done so much. So it's to the point where it's going to be hard for them to move to Mario Kart 9 because Mario Kart 8 is so massive and a lot of people play it. But I think it should be a launch title, and they should make it exclusive and start a whole new with Mario Kart 9. People will buy the Nintendo Switch 2 for Mario Kart 9. I hope they don't think they're going to be alienating anybody by doing that. They're going to sell, because the Switch almost sold as much as the PlayStation 2. So it's going to sell. They should have no problem with that at all. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm ready for it too, because I played a lot of it, but I played a lot of it on the Wii U. But the Switch version is 10 times better, especially with the extra tracks. Absolutely, in a fantastic racing game. Let's see. I bought another original Xbox. I got the new Sega Saturn Virtual Stick. Well, it's not new, but Japanese Virtual Stick. I did a video about that. Excellent. Let me see if I got it right here. Yeah, I got it right. Hold on. This is an excellent arcade stick. Probably one of the best arcade sticks I've ever played with. This is a Sega Saturn Virtual Stick made only in Japan. Now, you can get the US version. US version is an all-black Saturn arcade stick, but this one, absolutely amazing. All right, what's next? What I talked about? Halo 1 may go to PS5. Yeah, that still could be a thing. Terry and Maya in Street Fighter 6. Absolutely, that's awesome. Then they're going to turn right back around and put Chun-Li and Ken in what's the other game? Spade of Fury City of the Wolves, which is Garrow 2. We're going to get a Capcom versus SNK 3, y'all. We're going to get another one. Maybe I should get now. See, this is when I started to say maybe I should get an Xbox Series, which I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's right here in the corner. Excuse me, right in the corner. I got an Xbox Series X. That was June 9th. And 2 days later, ended up buying it, and I got the Xbox Series X. And yeah, so I ended up getting that. Absolutely so glad that I bought one. Absolutely awesome. I'm so glad that I bought it. I did another VF Pickups, number 38, and this is a return to collecting. Now, mind you, I haven't talked about I haven't talked about a VF Pickup yet, and this is all the way in June. So I think the last one was in 2023 up until now. The VF Pickups is basically a series where I talk about games that I pick up on every other week or every month or so, and I do a whole video about the games that I picked up. And right now I'm up to 46. Yeah, I did 46 the other day. But 38, between 37 and 38 was a long time. Marvel vs. Capcom Collection announced. So glad that came out. I bought that. I have that over there and on my shelf. Then I did this video that did pretty good numbers. The next two videos I did after this did really good. Marvel vs. Capcom Collection discussion, retire the old games. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't retire the old games. I still play Marvel vs. Capcom on the old systems on my Saturn. I still play it on my Dreamcast. And actually, I've been playing a lot of, what's that game called? Good Lord. Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. I've been playing a lot of that as well. So, yeah. So that did pretty good numbers. You see that. Then another one, Marvel vs. Capcom Collection Xbox issue and the solution, because this game was not released. The Marvel vs. Capcom Collection is going to be released later on the Xbox, but it wasn't released. And the solution I gave, I thought it was pretty simple. If you really want to play this game, buy your PS4 and buy Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. I mean, I think that is actually a pretty good idea, because it'd be about the same amount of money if you was to buy it any other way. I probably won't be playing College Football 25 or Madden 25. I ended up buying the games and I was right. I barely even play the games. Marvel vs. Capcom 4 talk. A lot of people was talking about that because the collection was coming out. PS3 backwards compatibility on PS5. I still don't know if that's going to be a thing. It should be, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing. PS3 backwards compatibility is tough. Dr. Disrespect, I'm going to skip that. Fightcade, get on that. We're going to skip that. My Xbox Series X 2 weeks later, I realized how much I really like it. It was really awesome. Another company tried to go after Nintendo again, and Nintendo sues them. The MIG Switch, that's that little thing that little cart that you could put in your Switch to hack your Switch. They got sued. Via Pickups 39. This right here was College Football 25 Dynasty trailer. We talked about that. Will physical games end? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think physical games are coming to an end once the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox come out. But I do think Nintendo's going to continue to give out physical copies of games. I improved my PC. Did a video about that. My PC is on the floor now. I had it up here, but it's on the floor now. I rebuilt my PC. Forza Horizon 4 is being delisted. Once I found that out, I bought Forza Horizon 4, the physical copy, and I end up getting all the other DLC behind it. I still haven't got into it yet. I'm still playing the other Forza Horizon, but a lot of people say it is well worth it. Thoughts on, okay, that was a little update video. So many games to play. Xbox Game Pass increase, the price increase. Update build on my PC. Xbox console advertising slowing down in Europe, possibly going all digital. I think Xbox is going all digital at some point. Hold on, y'all. Let me drink a little bit of my eggnog. All right. I think Xbox is going all digital at some point. They're going to be all digital, probably, like I said, the next console generation. 2 of their 3 consoles that are out now already all digital. So at this point, what I'm doing, I'm starting to pick up a lot of Xbox One and Xbox Series games. This might be the last time that we have physical Xbox games. So it'll be a good time to go ahead and collect them if you're a collector. I'm probably going to do the same thing with that like I did with my Xbox, original Xbox stuff. We talked about EA Sports College Football. I did a live stream about that when that game was released. Also talked about EA Sports, how well they can do sports games if they want to. Also talked about in July 17th, which was my wife's birthday. It's an excellent time to get a gaming PC. I know it might not be for everybody, but if you do decide to get into it, it'll be a good time. I'm not going to push anybody to get a gaming PC or get into it, but it's a really good investment if you want. Even if you get a low-end gaming PC, it does wonders. Xbox is really trying to push all digital games. I just talked about that. PlayStation 2 emulation. I'm not a big fan of emulation, but PlayStation 2 has done a really good job. Well, the people with the PS2 emulator has done a really good job with the PlayStation 2 emulation. You pretty much can play any game on your PlayStation 2 library through that emulator. Do I recommend it? Hey, it's up to you. Me, I like to play on real hardware, and I'll stick with that. SBC Chaos, SNK versus Capcom was released on July 20th. It was a stealth release. It just came out. Excellent game. It's pretty tough, but it's excellent. Fighting games are in the best space since the 90s. I agree, even though we don't have 3D fighting games, it's still in a good spot. I did a video about that. Xbox and Capcom, what's the issue? Because SBC Chaos versus SBC Chaos did not come out on Xbox either. What's going on there? I don't know, but the game is already out on the original Xbox. If anything, they could have put that in the backwards compatibility program and let it play on the Xbox Series. I don't understand what's going on there, but hey, I have the game somewhere back here on one of these. So, yeah. The last look at the Xbox 360 store, I think this is where I went to make my last purchases on the Xbox 360 because I think it was it's another video down here that I did that on. I'll get to that in a second. So I did the last look on the 23rd. I did say get a PC, but there's a problem with PC. Ryzen 9000 delayed for quality purposes. Some of their parts are good, but then you have issues. Kenneth Mullen asks, am I a fan of modded consoles? Absolutely. I am a big fan of modded consoles. My Xbox, when I did a video about my Xbox, original Xbox that I bought, not this one, but I have another one over there that's modded. My PS2 over there is modded. My Super Nintendo is modded. What else? I had a modded PS3, but that died. But yeah, I'm a big fan of modded consoles because the main reason why I want a modded console because I want the console to be region free. I don't understand. I hate region lock. I don't understand why it's region lock. So, especially with my PlayStation 2, that PlayStation 2, the region lock on that is so tough to get around. So what I did, I just got free McBoot. I soft modded that console. I could play any game on that console now because I modded it. My Dreamcast, well, you don't really have to mod a Dreamcast. My original Xbox is modded, so I could play any game on that console as well. What else Yeah, the PS3. I said the PS3 is modded, and my Sega Saturn is modded. I used a flash cart to mod my Sega Saturn. Big fan of modded consoles, mostly because I want the console to be region free. If there's a region lock on the console, more than likely I'll find a way to get it modded so I can play Japanese games on my consoles. So yeah, big fan of it. Let's see. FTC going at the Game Pass. Okay, they're not going to go nowhere with that. Xbox Store was down at one point. Well, what else is new? Xbox 360 store dies. So my final purchases, I ended up buying like about 20 games on the Xbox 360. And speaking of modded consoles, excuse me, one really good modded console to have, which I don't have, is an Xbox 360. If you have a modded 360, you have a very good device. Very good device. I'll just leave it at that. An excellent device. This is where Microsoft's trying to get the MVC collection. Let's see. Xbox gaming revenue up 44%, but the console sales down 42%. Why is that? Okay, so Xbox, their consoles go up because, the consoles go down because nobody's buying the console. But the revenue is up because everybody loves Game Pass and everything under that umbrella. I better speed this up because I gotta go get my haircut at 1 o'clock. All right, let's see. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike should get a re-release for the tournaments. I agree. I made that video. Game Informer dies. That was a great magazine. ROM hacking website was shut down. I kind of got a gray area on that. Stop killing games. Yeah, that's for games being delisted. Let's see what else. What else? Anything else I see here? Marvel's Capcom, that was released. Terry is Street Fighter 6. All your consoles are modded. Yeah, man. If you need it, if you want to do it, I highly recommend it. I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of it. Xbox has a serious problem. No, let me tell you something, man. This Indiana Jones game, that is a really good game. I like it. I can't speak for everybody, but I like that game. That Indiana Jones game is really good. All right, let's see. What lane Nintendo's taking on forward? Another pickups video, number 40. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is coming out. That's the Capcom vs. SNK collection. Let's see. Sony live service problem. We talked about that when it came to Concord. Let's see. Marvel's Capcom collection is coming out in 2025. So Xbox is getting the game finally. Let's see. I got my copy of Concord. That's back here. You can see that down there. I bought that. People are really going for 360 games. Those games are going up. Talked about that earlier. Astrobot, my son loved that game. Let's see, another pickup video. PS5 Pro is $700 with an $80 disc add-on. Do not buy that unless if you're going to trade in your console. Then I made a video about that. When should you buy a PS4 Pro? And I said, you go and that's when you go and trade your other console in. Another pickup video. Sony wasted $400 million on Concord. Terrible. This is when I got sick. I lost my voice. I fell in love with the Nintendo 3DS in September 28th. I love that handheld. Really great hand. I didn't know it was that good. Nintendo Switch emulator Ryujinx was taken down. Leave Nintendo alone. Let's see. I talked about what happens if my gaming collection gets destroyed. I may do another live stream on that. VF pickups number 43. Concord was supposed to be returning, but it didn't. Analog 3D, the N64 analog is supposed to come out. That's pretty dope. Government shut down gaming preservation. I'm not surprised. It's up to us to keep these games up and running. And I just did a video on that. Thank you, Modern Vintage Gamer. I did that in November. Gaming preservation is up to us. Remember that. If you want to keep these games alive and intact, it's up to us to keep game preservation. Do not rely on these companies to keep these games up and running for you. They will put these games to the back burner and delist them with the quickness. I did a video about Super Sega FPGA. That's supposed to be a thing now. Whatever. Virtual Fighters returning. PS5 Pro commentary is mixed. Some people thought it was good. Some people was bad. I knew that was going to happen. GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition finally gets an update around November 12th. That was awesome. Glad they did that. That game is actually playable now. Another idiot sued by Nintendo. This guy went to get games off the dark web, pirate the games, and live stream them before they were released. You deserve every bit of lawsuit there, sir. Leave Nintendo alone. What a dummy. But I did that video. That was a pretty cool video. Another one of my favorite videos of 2024. Xbox is everything and everything at Xbox. You can play Xbox anywhere now. EA Sports College Football 2025 was not nominated at the Game Awards, which is really weird. Killing the Muddlin said that The PS Vita was before its time. I modded mine. Awesome. Yeah, that is a great handheld to mod. That and the PSP. Those are really good to mod. If you can get a pretty good storage device for your PSP, that and the Vita, you can't go wrong. Especially with the Vita, because the Vita does play PSP games. Absolutely. You're on point with that. Absolutely. Great handheld. Some people was telling me to go back to the trilogy because it was updated. Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. Let's see. Where are we at now? So we're in December now. Me and my son beat Cuphead. That was pretty dope. Let's see. This is very sad for Xbox. I can't remember what I did this video about. Oh, more about physical copies. Okay. All right, this is the last road that we're going down. Who's surprised about GTA 6? We already know the problems with GTA 6. They're not going to be as funny and edgy as it used to be. Modern game has lost the plot. I agree. Except for that Indiana Jones game. I like that. Get that Indiana Jones game. I think you guys will like it. It's a really good game. Excuse me. Forza Horizon 4 is being delisted, so I end up picking that up. I picked up all the DLC. I got a new controller. This is it right here. You can use this on your PC, even for the Switch, and you can use this for the PS3. And I think you can use it for the Xbox One and Xbox Series. Really good controller. I got that for $29.99 at the time. Let's see. This is where I thought I was going to buy a Neo Geo or a 32X. And then I end up buying a bunch of GameCube games instead. And this one here, I was out Christmas Eve trying to get some games from a pawn shop, but they didn't have anything that I want. And this was the promo to this live. Let's make moves in 2025. We're going to do that. And my last video that I did before this live was my pickups video 46. Those are the last big pickups for 2024. Highly recommend you guys go check that out. And that's pretty much it. This was 2024. Everything that I did as far as content creating, I did a couple of live streams. This is the one live stream I'm doing right now. And I did the birthday stream. That's a test. I just did. This is one game I need to finish. I want to apologize, y'all. I am in the middle of Doom 3 on original Xbox, and I need to finish that. So that will be done in 2025. Trust and believe. Some college football stuff. I did X-Men versus Street Fighter. That was a congratulations on 500 subs. I got 500 subs in June of 2024. Now we're up to 800 plus. Thanks to you guys. And that's pretty much it, man. This was I'll be honest. I've been doing YouTube on my other channel where I talk about the Atlanta Falcons and Georgia Southern football. That I have a podcast where I talk about those two football teams. But I haven't had this much fun doing stuff on this channel in forever. I really enjoyed doing all of this content, even though my channel doesn't look like all the other ones that has like thousands and hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of subscribers. I felt like I built something here, and I am very proud of it. And I'm so thankful for you guys for coming through and watching the videos. The few people that are here that's on the live that comes back and watch the live later, people who have questions, ask for advice when it comes to gaming, give me some insight on gaming, things that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know anything about this thing right here, this Kaiko HDMI adapter, till somebody told me. I had no idea it was out there. But I'm learning from you guys just as much as you guys learn from me. And that's the reason why I love doing this. I don't try to do this to be like the biggest YouTuber or whatever. If that happens by some reason, that'd be awesome. But as long as I got a few people here listening and giving me feedback or liking my videos or whatever, I'll continue to do this, because gaming is not just a hobby for me. This has turned into a lifestyle. You know, this is really a part of my life. Like, I've been doing this ever since I was 5 years old, and up until now, which I'm in my early 40s, and I enjoy doing every bit of this. I can go and play any game, make some content off of it, and if I get a few people watch it, that's pretty awesome. And that, to me, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I always felt like that's what YouTube was about. Now a lot of people get monetized and they have to keep content going to get monetized. That's great. Maybe one day I'll be monetized. If that's the case, that'd be absolutely awesome. But the message don't change. It won't change. I'm not here for the money. You know, I mean, you can clip this right now. I'm not going to change just because something like that happens. If YouTube decides to monetize me, that'd be awesome. But other than that, I'm still going to be doing what I do, you know, because I never got into YouTube to make money off of it. And I don't knock anybody who does, you know, because at the end of the day, I have my own career. I mean, not to do, you know, too much inside baseball, but I drive trucks for a living. And I love driving trucks just as much as I love doing this right here, playing games and stuff. And to be honest, as much as I love to travel, I don't think I'll ever stop driving trucks unless I'm physically not able to do it. So I don't see myself leaving this to be a part-time a full-time content creator. To be honest, I don't see how people do it. I mean, to them, it works. I guess it works out. That's awesome. I just love being outside, man. I love doing the trucking thing, man. That's pretty awesome. But nevertheless, I've rambled enough. Dr. Type said, gaming has been my life since I was a kid. Been married for 32. Wow, you've been married for 32 years? And my wife loves that I do it. Right. See, that's another thing. I've been married for 10 years now. You know, we've been married since 2014. And my wife loves what I do as well. I remember, even to this day, I can't do it now because of the way that this room is set up. But there were times when my wife would sit in the room and just watch me play games. And she would just ask questions or she'll be on her phone doing her thing. But she loves the fact that I sit here and I relax and I play my video games and I just, you know, this is my own little world. And she enjoys the hobby as well. She's a huge Dr. Mario fan. She loves playing 2D Mario. I tried to get on Mario 3D World and she almost pulled her hair out. She don't like 3D. I guess it's the depth of 3D gaming. And she ended up falling off the side of the ledge and stuff all the time. But she loves 2D Mario, you know. She loves what's that game that came out from Capcom? Oh man, it's an older game. Is the Nemo game by Capcom. I can't remember the name, but she loves that game as well. So she's a big fan of gaming as well. So that's pretty awesome when you find somebody who's into it with gaming with you. My only caveat is when she wants to grab some beer and wings, we go, hey, listen, this is one thing, and I've been telling my wife this for a long time, that me and her need to do a dual conversation for this channel. The thing about it is, if you're a gamer and you have that much leeway where you could play games and your wife really doesn't mind, when she do say something, when she needs something done, when she tells you to get off the game, you might want to listen. She already gave you enough leeway to play games as much as you want. So it's really fair to get up and go when she says get, because my wife rarely says anything. She rarely says anything when I'm in here playing games or whatever. She, like I said, she'll come here and she would join in, or my son will come in, she'll play with my son. As far as video games go, it was a thing. You know, she loves doing that. So she loves it. So, but when she says something, it's time to roll. You don't never want to say, hey, wait a minute. No, I stopped the game and that's a wrap. Because I'm already thankful enough that she's willing to, you know, look out for me and, you know, and let me play these games. And trust and believe, guys, you guys that are married, yes, they do let us. They let us. We act there and say, oh, the man in the house. Yeah, we're the man in the house. But we're the man in the house based on leading and doing things the right way and for being a protector. Not because of what I say goes. Because that lady in the other room, when she wants something and you don't do it, yeah, see how fun that'll be. See how fun that will be. But nevertheless, man, I enjoy it all, man. You guys are awesome. I got to go get this haircut, man. I'm struggling a little bit. My barber is going to be waiting for me. I got an appointment at 1 o'clock. So I am going to be doing that. Depends on the situation. I'll probably have another video up later on today, or I may even go live. Just depends. It just depends, because I don't mind doing this. And for 2025, I'm going to do more of this. Not only just these discussions like this, but I want to go live as far as putting gameplay up. I need to finish Doom 3. I do want to live stream a couple other games. I want to, have these discussions / live streams gameplay live streams where we do both. So all that's in the works, in the middle of us moving to another place, because we're going to be moving to another place in 2025. All that's going to work out. And to be honest, y'all, it's all thanks to you guys. I want to continue to do this. And as long as you guys are around, I'm going to be here. So I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you, Doc Type. Thank you, Kenna. Thank you, Antonio. Who else came through? I think that's Sweet Jones. Thank you as well. Everybody who's chatted. Cannot thank you guys enough. I really, really appreciate you guys. I will see y'all on the next one, because I got to go get my hair cut. I got to be there at 1 o'clock. It is 12:14. So I got to get there and get this tightened up. But yeah, man, my game room would it be if it wasn't for my wife? Absolutely. Absolutely. My wife did the same thing. She helped me design some things in here too, or get some things so I could put my games up. Absolutely. But I'm going to get out of here, y'all. I got to roll. I'll probably be live again later, or at least put a video up, because there's a lot to talk about going forward. All right, y'all. Thank y'all again. I really appreciate y'all. I'm out. Take it easy, and peace.